ramp deck of the day. It's pretty much the same thing, except we took all the British cards out and we put in German cards, or what I thought were reasonable German cards. One of the big losses from the one deck to the other is that we don't have carpet bombing, so we don't have a nice board clear to regain board control after we've spent the first few turns ramping here. But what we lack in board clears, we do make up for in kind of hard removal in the form of hard early game removal in the form of FLAMMPANZER and Sudden Strike. So one of the losses, now I remember, one of the losses our US UK ramp deck was to a low to the ground US Soviet deck that had a bunch of buffs for their cheap early game units that carpet bombing couldn't take care of. This deck would be better suited against something like that because of things like Sudden Strike and FLAMMPANZER. In addition to that, we're just running reasonable other cards. Panzer III-H, some card selection, decent body for the cost. PANTHER G, like a baby Tiger 1E. Probably honestly better than it, all things considered. Its 6 points of attack means it can trade or just destroy a lot of the meta relevant tanks in the game. It can also one shot other B17s, which is nice. Like the last deck, we're trying out these B25s. They felt okay in that last set, so 3 of them might be excessive, but we're gonna run the full play set of them to see how they do. What else we got going on? Mobilizations instead of the Lend-Leases, obviously. Panzer IVs. So, nice thing about Panzer IV, it's a decent 6-drop in its own right. This deck can play it as early as turn 4. So a turn 4 5/5 that takes away one of their last plays is nice. Also has some synergy with all the deployment bombers we're running. It's not unreasonable in this deck to ramp to a point where you can play, an Avenger or B17 and then bounce it back to your hand to have a 5/5 on the table and then get this effect back the following turn. Alternatively, maybe on the previous turn you played one of these and now on the next turn you can bomb something with it, then bounce it back to your hand, and maybe even play it again that same turn to just cause a lot of destruction. It's not something that comes up too often, but often enough it's something worth pointing out, I think, and it's just a really fun thing to do anyway. But like I said, that's not the main reason why we're playing the Panzer IVs. They're just a solid unit in their own right. Yeah, T-34s, like, it's such a good card, but then, there's so many Panther Gs running around, it's just like, aw. I guess we'll keep this. I mean, maybe this translates to I'm an aggro player, and then I'd have a better sense of what I'm supposed to mulligan for, but in the dark, I think this is fine. So we'll definitely play FLAMMPANZER on 3 because this is not going to let us play any of these ahead of curve anyway. That's unfortunate, but, it is what it is. Leo in your aggro deck. I mean, I guess he could be running mid-range. He just has these for the early game, although this implies aggression, but... fine by me. Yeah, I think I want to play that. Especially after you use the tactical strike on that. So he's just a bit less likely to have one for this. Well, we definitely wouldn't want him drawing a bunch of cards, so I think I am supposed to get rid of this. Next turn we can push this back if he actually spends the resources moving it up, and then move this up to really delay this. Yeah, no, I agree. But I saw, when I see, the 2-drop into the 1-drop, or the 1-drop into that particular 2-drop, it implies aggro to me. But it just could be a more aggressively slanted mid-range deck. Leo is just such a blowout card that it can be fine running as your top end anyway. So that is annoying. I think we want to do this though. I think I'll spend my resources doing this because the way he's been playing it makes it feel like he's gonna run this into here. Now I assume we're gonna see this move up, and we're definitely gonna make it retreat and move to the front line if we can. Well, we can't. Still gonna bounce it though. Well, now we're gonna pray a little bit. Sweet. It's unfortunate we got like a little bit too much of like this stuff clogging up our hand, but that's just gonna happen sometimes in a deck like this. I mean, I'm feeling like we're in an okay spot right now anyway. I'd feel much more comfortable if we had the front line, but... Alright, that means he's not hitting face with that, so you know what? I'll take it. Okay. I think I'll actually ramp here. We know he doesn't have Leopold, so... Sure. That's kind of nice. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and move one of these up. Maybe it should have been this one. But then it, I don't know if I want... That dies to a 35T, so... Ooh, that's kind of scary. Depending on what he pulled, that could be very scary. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to draw 3 here rather than ramp. See if we can find something that takes out one of these without us losing our, having to put our tank in. Because I don't want him to ready with this artillery, I don't think, if I can avoid it. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Now we just gotta go, go, go. This will finish off. No, that's gonna die either way when it connects with one of these. Guess we just take the redraw. I'm assuming this is the elite that he found with the Africa core. But perhaps not. 5. Maybe we draw 3 again. Would I rather develop the board though first? Definitely hitting with this. That's without question. In fact, I'm pretty sure, like, no matter what, that's happening. I think we just want to put as many lethal threats on the table as we can. Yeah, let's take this. Do this. I love this card. It's been a while since I've played it in a deck. Feels good. Well, if he's an aggro deck, this is a decent hand. Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's been the card's been around so long that I think people just know how to use it. I don't think it's necessarily OP or anything, but I know what you mean. Like it's really, really strong. Huh. Yeah, let's just do this. Our opponent's going to get to draw several cards, but I think that's okay. We're probably going to get to as well. Take the front line. Make it harder for him to keep drawing. Ideally, we can take this out next turn. But yeah, there's no doubt that this is one of the strongest German cards in the game. It's funny how quite a few of the meta decks weren't running it, however. From the lists I've seen, they were opting to run like Panther A's and whatnot. You know what? If he's gonna do that, I'm actually okay with that. Take it out. I think we'll play this rather than the ramp card. Maybe we're supposed to play this, because then next turn we can play one of these and attack with this, or take the front line as necessary. Yeah. I think that's what we want to do. We want to be able to do as many things as we can on each turn because of how, you know, low to the ground our opponent's deck is. Okay, now I think... Do we want to take out, guaranteed take out 2 things? Or do we like taking the front line if this takes out the Panzer? I think so. We'll see what happens. Okay. These things are expensive to operate, however, so it does have the encirclement. Okay. That not going face there is a-okay by me. It's too bad we don't have enough resources to play 2 things. I think I'm supposed to play this. I have to take out one of these threats. Guess I could play the Panzer to push this back. I saw one of his units discarded his other encirclement, so we don't have to worry about that. If I do that, he's obligated, I think, to run this into it and then shoot it to finish it off. Or is this, if this hits the wrong thing, it could be really bad. Or if he has Blitzkrieg, that's like super bad. Oh, I also have this, I just realized. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Oh, yes, I agree. But I think there's a good number of people who realized that the mill drawback was irrelevant in the decks that it was going to be good in. One, 2, 4, 5. Could also do... I think we gotta pray to like start hitting those this auto cannon or something. Maybe I'm supposed to attack with that first to increase the chances. So that was incorrect of me. But you know what? If these 2 take this out, I'll consider that a win. Do definitely think that was a misplay, though. Huh. That unfortunately doesn't die to this when it moves up. That sucks. I was looking for strategic bombing there. I guess I'll move that back just so it can't fire. We're probably dead anyway. Especially if he has Comet in hand and... We just don't have a reasonable clock. Like even if we regain control, he has so much time to find Comet and finish us off with that it's probably probably over. We'll give it a try, though. We'll definitely make him kill us. Okay. Good game, though. I think I might have misplayed somewhere in that early... There was one turn where I kind of misplayed. I'm not sure it would have mattered, though, the way this game played out. Yeah, most likely wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, we needed you a lot earlier, man. We needed that a lot earlier, too. That would have been nice. Yeah, the German-Japan mid-range showing off why it's one of the best decks in the game right now, or the best deck in the game. Just early pressure, early aggression into, like, late-game bombs. Comet. I'm blanking now. Comet, is that it? Comet, Leopold. Things like the Panther Gs or Panther As, whichever the one I'm thinking of. Big burn cards like you know, Bismarck and Kriegsmarine to finish you off, or even you know, even that autocannon left unchecked that dealt so much damage. I think we can keep all of this except that, and that's a nice replacement. So definitely play this on 2, and depending on what we draw and depending on what he plays, will inform our turn 3. As it stands, it's probably just this, but... Well, I was gonna ramp. I think I'm supposed to do... Or sorry, I was gonna, you know, shoot this Awoken Giant. Now I think we're definitely supposed to make sure that we can hit this, finish it off with Awoken Giant. We want to keep our life total as high as possible. Nothing else to do with our resources, may as well move up. Suppose he could have From the Deep here, but like From the Deep's gonna be bad against most of our deck, so I think we just go for the guaranteed kill. Pass. Big bucks, no sky barons. So this is one of the things we were talking about before. I could bomb that and then bounce one of these things back to hand. I think I kind of want to do that. Did he miscalculate there? I don't think I'm going to move that up into a missing. I think we can afford to wait. If he wants to Leo us to deny us 2 draws here, I'm okay with that. We'll just B17 it. That's unfortunate, but our hand is pretty stacked, so I think the best hit there would have been one of the B25s. Can we just play it? All this crap out. I mean, like, we haven't seen any other countermeasures off of him that are triggering on our deployment, so I'm thinking he has missing in hand, but I could be wrong. He might just want us to think he has it and buy himself some time, but I think I'm okay with that, because the longer this game goes, the more likely we are to win, right? Do I want to move up now? Because if he Leos us, we're going to lose a bunch of our units anyway. But he hasn't drawn it. Like, I feel like if he had it, he would have used it at this point. I think we can continue waiting one more turn. See if we can't get this to clear the way. Use this as a minesweeper, see if we can get the missing out of his hand for our Panzer to move up. Yep. Cool. Yeah, just our patience being rewarded there. I like all of this except those two, obviously. That's why I rejected them. Well, it's too bad we didn't have a war production. Yep. It's kind of a pain if it gets to the front line, huh? That's okay, we'll just play another one of these. Don't really need their effect when we have these in hand. I think we will ensure that we can hit this and then double attack that. Sure. It's rough. Alright, so we're gonna lose the bomber, but gave us back a 5-5, gained us 5 life, you know, so not the worst. I think we're actually supposed to do this because its deployment effect doesn't kill either of our things. And leaving it on the board means this just dies. Now I think we play this. Could play that first. Of course it hits us in the face. Probably just gonna get burned out here. Or he'll Leo us, sure. Our hand was just too clunky and slow. We needed stuff like this in the early game, so we could have done more with our turns in the mid to late there. Alright, is this a mirror? Or is he a more aggressive deck? Okay then. Well, really don't want that to live, but I think I need to save this because if he buffs something, it's going to be trouble. Well, our deck is like pretty well suited to deal with this. Unfortunately, we're not getting the draws that can. Oh, that helps. If we could get a FLAMMPANZER or another Sudden Strike, I'd feel more comfortable, because these are probably going to start getting buffed. Yep. Ooh, that's nice. So we can get rid of this. Play this and kill one of these. That's fine. We don't care about that. Don't really care about that. I mean, it just dies. I think I'm okay with... Do I like all of these? Or is it a bit much? It could be a tokens deck, and then this is kind of embarrassing. Well, a lot of it would be, I guess, in theory. Yeah, we probably have enough payoffs that we'll draw into one. Let's just look for things that keep us alive in the early game, you know? Well, we have this to deal with that, so it's not the worst. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and kill that. FLAMMPANZER for that will be nice, though the life gain's not relevant, really. Next turn, I think I'd rather do, like, I'll do 2 of these and move this up or attack with it, depending on what he does. Want to get to our big stuff as soon as possible. Especially if he's going into his turn 5. He can start dropping nasty things like B-17s and or T-34s and whatnot. Yep. And yeah, I think I'll move that up. You can eat it with this, but then that means this is not a this is not an Avenger target, which I like. Is it crazy to trade the M18 into this so that this can eat that? So it could be problematic. This is awkward too. I could eat the first half of the card with this and then give him a 3/4, but then I don't have something to take that off the table right away, so I don't think I like that. Maybe we start with this. That's probably what part of what our turn is going to be anyway. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, he might be. I know he's. I know he was playing in the tournament, Spooz's tournament, the last week. I believe he's a fellow Canadian. Ugh, I mean, this could be okay, I guess. Ugh, what do we want to do here? We don't have good plays. It's a body, even if it doesn't actually ramp us. We just want to preserve our life total as best as we can. Like, it doesn't feel good doing that, but our hand is, you know, our hand is decent, so I think it's okay. we're definitely just doing this then. Has he shown us what other nation he's playing yet? If he has, I definitely did not take a mental note of that. So we're in an okay spot. Definitely wouldn't mind getting another mobilization or just some Panzer III-H's just to like stack our hand a little bit more. We'll see how these do here though. If he starts dropping Katyushas and getting lucky, at least they can clean him up. Potentially. Oh, right, that's right. He did use joint operation. Stream coming in the clutch. Yeah, he used a joint operation at some point, so we know he's Germany. And actually, I think the first German card he played was a Panzer III-H. That's fine. I don't think it really changes our plays that much, to be honest. Okay, he's in the tank, so hopefully that means he doesn't have great plays here. Alright, alright. So we can start with this. This is 6, 7, 8. If we need to do something. We lost this bomber anyway, so I see, I see. Yeah, him taking most of his turn to gas back up, I think, favors us. It's a good hit. I likey. Oh, maybe I should have thought about that more. I can't bomb and play that. This would, a nice quality of life feature would be if they could incorporate, like, it shows you what the 3 choices you had and what you picked. I know the other one was an M18, which wasn't appealing, and then there's this one. Gonna go face here? Is he gonna? Okay. Yeah, we're okay with that when we got this. I would have been far more scared of him red bannering the T-34. Doesn't even have the follow-up. Wow. Well, we can't kill him this turn. We can get him close, though. I'm wondering if I'm supposed to... Well, I guess I can go... this and this to kill it, and then play this. I wonder if he just top decked that. Well, that buys him some time on by his perspective. I guess not, right? Because he was at 3, so this could have bombed this, and then we could have bombed him for the win. Alright, I'm running a bit late. No, we can do one more. We can do one more match with this. Last match, and then I'm gonna call it a stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out on this Monday afternoon. Hope your week goes well. Hope you'll stop by again on Friday. We're gonna play some more cards. Anxiously anticipating the release of the Theaters of War expansion. It's gonna be fun. Probably gonna throw that back. Throw that back looking for ramp. I'll keep this, you know, this is probably gonna have a relevant target. Do we want this on one? I think I'd rather look for ramp. Wow. Just get the most expensive cards possible. Alright, well, this might be an anticlimactic final match. We'll see. We'll go 3... and we'll hit... Oof, that's a little scary. Remember when I didn't keep that AWOKEN Giant? This is fine, though. Go with this, actually. I think I want this. To be able to, like, get across the table and eat one of his bombers at some point. Finding this again is nice. It means he'll need to buff his stuff in order to do damage. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll play this. Good chance it hits something relevant. And if not, I don't mind getting this down to 1, I suppose. Wonder if we'll see this get pinned and this finish us off or something like that. This is a 2-drop, right? Okay. Yeah, it's not quite big enough, friend. Not quite big enough. Ooh, that's so close to being amazing. Well, we'll definitely get rid of that. We'll deal some damage to that. Play this. Pass. So our starting hand wasn't great for this matchup, but we've drawn fairly well since then. So, and I'm actually pretty pleased with that. Yeah, I'm pleased with that overall. It just means that that's not hitting our face. Although for fear of a second one, maybe I am supposed to use this to guaranteed get a bomber. Next turn we have 9 resources though. Which is enough to attack with this and move and shoot with that. Yep. Alright. Well, we could get punished here for being a little greedy. I don't know if it was that greedy of a play to hope to hit the 2 and 3, the 66%er here. You know what? I am perfectly happy with that. Now do we Hellcat eat the bomber? Eat both bombers? I think so. Pretty good. Pretty good. That's also pretty good. Could see carpet bombing here. If he carpet bombs us and he can move this up and shoot, but then we'll just be 17. Or we could do that. Ramp some more. We actually have enough resources next turn to play this manipulated Seaborne Invasion and bomb with this, so that's nice. Alright, he's... Like, if the more he wants to do that, I'm fine with this. Basically what I'm saying. We'll do that in case he's running interceptions, and then I'm fine with this B-17 just taking out a bomber. Any plane we want to take out. So, if this is hitting a bomber rather than, you know, a guard or something, that's perfect. The thing with Reichsbank is that it's temporary, right? Which, like, it sounds obvious to say that, but, like, that's a really big drawback. And I just don't think it's needed with the amount of permanent ramp the deck has. Right, like, I think Reichsbank's a fine card, I just don't think it's found a good home yet. Maybe in a future expansion. There are certainly a lot of decent things to be playing. You know, a lot of decent 6 drops, even 5 and 6 drops to be playing on turn 3. But usually you just lose too much tempo. Whereas if you play like War Machine on 2, at least you get that credit for the rest of the game, you know? Yeah, but like that, outside of that exact card combination, right? Like sometimes it can be lacking. But you're right though, there's a lot of good stuff you can be playing. I just think it's like a little too much most of the time. But I'd love to be proven wrong if someone were to ever come up with like a really good Reichsbank Ramp deck, you know. Let's move this up because why not? We're gonna save this for another bomber. Although I think we've gone through all of his 1-drop bombers at this point. Wait. Yeah, okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He was dead anyway. Alright. Decent enough match to end on. So yeah, if you're looking for a ramp deck that, I don't know, we did actually pretty okay. I don't know that ramp is, you know, a tiered deck in this format, but it certainly is fun. It's been a while since I played a proper ramp deck. It's been a while since I've played a Panzer IV, and been really long time since I've played them both in the same deck. So that was really fun, satisfying. You know, had some satisfying matches with that. But yeah, thanks everyone for. What's the whole point of the 4K American unit that just died? It was this. It was the JASCO. I moved it up to the front line because I had nothing better to do with my resources, and it just like kind of didn't matter. But if you're honestly curious about what the point of it is, it's just a very good anti-aggro card because it reduces all incoming damage by 1. So it okay, yeah. I thought I recognize your username. I didn't think you were a new player, so just in case. You once got 2 JASCOs on a Seaboard invasion. Was that a good thing, or did it end up being pretty? Did it end up being pretty bad? Because there are certainly some matchups where that can be like kind of good, but that seems like a pretty bad thing overall. I think the one comment I would make about this deck, if I were to compare it to the UK version that we played earlier today, you know, something I mentioned at the start of both of those sets was that I felt like, you know, the deck that had carpet bombing in it would probably be better suited to the more kind of go wide aggro decks, but this one would be better suited to the ones that are looking to buff things like tokens and the US based aggressive decks. And I think that held true based on the games that we played. I'd have to think more about the other relevant matchups in the format right now to make a better decision as to which of the 2 you'd rather be running. You know, like which of the 2 is better against like the German-Japan mid-range deck, for example. My gut says it would be this one, just because we're playing just higher quality cards overall. Like things like this can buy us a lot of time. This can go toe-to-toe with a lot of their stuff. I mean, they're running this card themselves, you know. This is great for trading into some of their stuff as well. It can trade with the Leopold sometimes when you need to. I guess one of the things I want to comment is how I felt about this card, having played some games with it. I think this card's in a good spot. It felt reasonable. Getting it out on turn 4 or 5 against a lot of decks, it did work. And the fact that it's a 4/5 bomber, like it has a 3 operation cost, sure. We don't really care about that most of the time in ramp, but the fact that it's a 4/5 as opposed to like a 4/4 where our Avenger is actually kind of was relevant in some of those games. So I think this card is worth considering if you're running, you know, a US ramp deck or even mid range possibly. Maybe not all 3 copies, but certainly 1 or 2 might be fine. I would have to play more games with it to get a feel for sure, but in the games we played today, it was reasonable. It seemed reasonable anyway. JASCO gets a lot stronger in multiples. You're not wrong. And so, like, you know, if you pushed back, like, double JASCO off of that Seaborne invasion would be pretty good if you were like, you know, your life total was low, but you had control of the board, but you're afraid of getting burnt out by like blitz units, or, you know, cards like air blitz or whatnot. Double JASCO to like clog up the front line and also make their burn cards worse would be pretty good, right? All right, guys, that's it for me for today. I gotta get gonna get these videos uploaded, gonna get ready for work. As I said, enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks everyone who came and hung out. We'll see you on Friday, and just counting down the days to the new expansion for cards. We're definitely going to be playing a lot of that on stream. So you know, give the channel a follow if you're interested in seeing some more content. If you're seeing some PvE content in addition to PvP, because you know, we're definitely going to be playing some cards campaigns, at least for the first little while. I think I'm going to devote. I think I'll do a special stream on Tuesday since the expansion is releasing on the 30th, and then we're gonna spend probably the entirety of the stream on Friday playing campaigns, and it'll probably be an extra long stream as well. And then we'll see if we can't get all of the new cards and then start brewing new decks and trying them out on the ladder the following week. That's the plan. That's a tentative plan anyway. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Have a good day. We'll see you next time.